The story begins with something that almost every Windows user has done thousands of times without thinking, pressing Ctrl plus Shift plus S to open Task Manager. It's one of the most basic tools in the entire operating system, a window into what your computer is doing at any given moment. You open it when something feels off, when your system slows down, when an app freezes, or when you just want to check your CPU or memory usage. It's supposed to be simple, lightweight, and reliable. But in a surprising turn of events, Microsoft itself confirmed that this very tool, Task Manager, has been at the center of a bug that can actually slow down your PC. And the way this bug works is both subtle and alarming. To understand why this matters, you have to first understand the role Task Manager plays in Windows 11. It's not just another app. It's a system-level utility designed to give you real-time insights into performance, processes, and resource usage. It's the control panel for troubleshooting. When your PC slows down, Task Manager is supposed to help you figure out why not become part of the problem. But that's exactly what started happening after a particular update rolled out in late 2025. Users began noticing something strange. Their systems would feel slower over time even when they weren't running heavy applications. Some reported that apps became sluggish, while others noticed increased RAM usage or unexplained CPU spikes. At first, it didn't seem connected. It felt like the kind of random slowdown that Windows users have experienced for years. But as more reports came in, a pattern started to emerge, and eventually, Microsoft acknowledged the issue. The bug was tied to how Task Manager behaved when you tried to close it. Normally, when you click the X button, the application should terminate completely. It should disappear not only from your screen but also from your system's active processes. But due to this bug, Task Manager didn't fully close. Instead, it lingered in the background, continuing to run even though it looked like it had been shut down. Now imagine what happens when you open Task Manager again. You think you're opening it fresh, but in reality, you're launching another instance. The previous one is still running silently in the background. Do this a few times, and you now have multiple instances of Task Manager consuming system resources. Each instance uses memory, CPU cycles, and system handles. Individually, the impact might be small, but collectively, especially over time, it adds up. Microsoft confirmed that repeatedly opening and closing Task Manager could lead to multiple instances accumulating in the background, which in turn could degrade system performance. This is what makes the bug particularly dangerous. It doesn't cause an immediate crash or a dramatic failure. Instead, it slowly chips away at your system's performance, making everything feel heavier, slower, and less responsive. What makes this even more surprising is how easy it is to trigger. Task Manager is not some obscure tool used only by advanced users. It's something people open casually, sometimes multiple times a day. You might open it to check startup apps, close a frozen program, or monitor system usage while gaming. Every time you close it using the standard close button, you could unknowingly be leaving behind another active instance. Over time, this creates a kind of invisible buildup. Your system starts to feel sluggish, but you can't immediately pinpoint why. You might blame your hardware, your storage, or even other applications. But in reality, part of the problem could be multiple hidden Task Manager processes quietly consuming resources in the background. This behavior was also observed and analyzed by tech experts who found that each new instance adds to the overall system load. If the system isn't restarted frequently, these instances can accumulate significantly. This is especially problematic for users who keep their PCs running for long periods, such as gamers, developers, or professionals who rely on continuous uptime. The bug also highlights a deeper issue with modern operating systems complexity. Windows 11 is a highly sophisticated system with countless background processes, services, and dependencies. When something as fundamental as Task Manager behaves incorrectly, it can have ripple effects across the entire system. It's not just about one app malfunctioning. It's about how that malfunction interacts with everything else. What's interesting is that this bug didn't immediately affect everyone in the same way. Some users noticed it quickly because they frequently use Task Manager. Others may never have realized it was happening. This inconsistency made it harder to identify and diagnose. It also led to confusion, with many users attributing the slowdown to unrelated causes. Online communities quickly picked up on the issue. On forums and discussion platforms, users began sharing their experiences. Some reported that Task Manager itself was slow to open, taking several seconds to load or freezing briefly before displaying information. Others noticed that their systems felt fine during gaming or heavy workloads but slowed down during normal usage. These seemingly contradictory experiences actually align with the nature of the bug. It accumulates over time and affects general system responsiveness rather than peak performance. One user described how Task Manager took several seconds to open despite having a powerful laptop with modern hardware, highlighting how even high-end systems weren't immune to the issue. This reinforces the idea that the problem isn't about hardware limitations, but rather how software behaves under certain conditions. The confirmation from Microsoft brought clarity, but also raised questions. How did such a bug make it through testing? Task Manager is one of the most critical tools in Windows. It's used not only by everyday users, but also by IT professionals and developers. A bug affecting its core functionality suggests gaps in quality assurance and testing processes. This isn't an isolated incident either. Windows 11 has faced several issues related to updates introducing unexpected bugs. From problems with system shutdowns to issues affecting the desktop interface, the operating system has had its share of challenges. These incidents point to a broader trend where rapid updates and feature rollouts can sometimes compromise stability. At the same time, it's important to understand that modern operating systems are incredibly complex. With millions of lines of code and support for a vast range of hardware configurations, achieving perfect stability is nearly impossible. Bugs are inevitable. What matters is how quickly they are identified, acknowledged, and fixed. In this case, Microsoft acknowledged the Task Manager bug and indicated that a fix was in progress. This is a crucial step because it validates user reports and ensures that the issue is being addressed. However, until the fix is fully rolled out, users need to be aware of the problem and take steps to mitigate its impact. One simple workaround is to avoid repeatedly opening and closing Task Manager. If you need to use it frequently, keep it open instead of closing it multiple times. Another approach is to ensure that Task Manager is fully terminated using the End Task option within the app itself, rather than relying on the Close button. Restarting your PC periodically can also clear any lingering instances and restore normal performance. This situation also serves as a reminder of how small bugs can have disproportionately large effects. A simple issue with a Close button not functioning correctly can lead to system-wide slowdowns. It's a chain reaction that starts with a minor flaw but grows over time as the system continues to operate. From a broader perspective, this bug highlights the importance of transparency in software development. By acknowledging the issue, Microsoft allows users to understand what's happening and take appropriate action. It also builds trust, even in the face of problems. At the same time, it underscores the need for users to stay informed. Technology is constantly evolving, and staying aware of known issues can help you avoid unnecessary frustration. Whether it's through official announcements, tech news, or community discussions, being informed gives you an advantage. Looking ahead, this incident could lead to improvements in how system utilities are tested and managed. It may also encourage Microsoft to implement additional safeguards to prevent similar issues in the future. For example, the system could detect and automatically terminate duplicate instances of critical utilities like Task Manager. In a way, this bug also changes how we think about performance issues. It shows that not all slowdowns are caused by heavy applications or insufficient hardware. Sometimes the tools we rely on to diagnose problems can become part of the problem themselves. As Windows 11 continues to evolve, it's likely that more updates and improvements will address not only this issue but also other areas of concern. The operating system has already seen significant enhancements in performance, usability, and features. But incidents like this remind us that even the most advanced systems are not immune to unexpected behavior. So the next time your PC feels slower than usual and you instinctively open Task Manager to investigate, take a moment to consider what's happening behind the scenes. That familiar tool, the one you trust to keep your system in check, might just be playing a role in the slowdown itself. And that realization, more than anything else, shows just how complex and interconnected modern computing has become.